Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Yes, I did share a story a while ago that I did break my left wrist, and this is the cast of my arm. It was in for over 6 weeks. I had 3 casts and they were all green. I was so young. I can't believe that I kept the cast because it's still in good condition. I felt like this was a souvenir because I wanted to remember the tragic broken arm story. That funny thing, it happened in my family owned gym. So, and I also came across these x-rays. Isn't that silly? I'll go through it, but I'm so glad. So these x-rays are from winter break, and I was in elementary school. So it was December 23rd, 2003. So I was 8 years old, almost turning 9, because my birthday's in January. So I was 8 years old when they broke my little left arm. So it says my name, it says what hospital I went to, and the break. This is in detail of the break. It was my wrist, somewhere in my wrist. Here's the x-ray of it. But you can see it's kind of crooked. I think it was this bone right here. You can probably see, oh no, I can see it in person. But it may be harder to see on film. And then here's another up close personal of the break too, somewhere in these bones. But these are the x-rays, and it says the date over here. I can't believe that it was 2 days before Christmas. I still can't believe it. It was winter break. We had winter camp, and I was with my friends, and I was on the trapeze, and then boom, I was flying like Superman in the air, and then boom, I fell right on my wrist. I was trying to save and embrace my fall, and it ended up my left wrist landed on the hard mat. So I was fortunate that it was not like I needed major surgery. I did have surgery. I did get put down to sleep for it, and I was in a cast before my hard cast, and then I was in a splint afterwards just to protect it. But this is how small my arm was, my left arm. I had so many people sign it too. My family, my childhood friends, family members. We also went to Chicago when I broke my wrist. So this cast has been to Chicago, and I have some pictures of it in my photo albums when I was a kid too. But I was not happy when traveling with this broken arm. It was like I had to be restrained. I couldn't move it, and it's hard. You cannot break it. I had to protect it when I take showers. When I took showers, I had to wear a bag over it so it wouldn't fall apart. But I know, isn't that tiny? It was like, oh no. Oh, you can probably see the difference. Oh my gosh. Here's like a view of, I used to try and fit my arm in my cast a couple years after I broke it, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's still the same. And then I knew I was gonna outgrow it, and now I'm full grown, I'm not growing, and it's tight, and I can't believe that my whole arm is like sticking out of the cast because that is how small I was. I was a tiny elementary school student. And this is what the inside of the cast looked like. It's shallow now, but and hollow. But it was like all padded with like all of this and bandaged up. And here's the top of it. But I couldn't move it. I'm strong, and it's like cement. I can't move it. But they actually had to saw the cast to when I was done with it, so you can see the line of where they sawed it. It was loud, and it was hot. It was not fun, but I knew I had to get it over with. I had my parents by my side, but you can see how they had to cut it with a saw. Nice even cut. And now look it, I have my perfect wrist again. It was actually, the x-ray said, it was my wrist right here. It was like maybe right here too. But the x-ray said it was my left forearm right here. So that was pretty interesting that it's not, they count it as my forearm bone because it's connected to my wrist. But either way, wrist, arm, forearm, it's the same thing. It's connected to my arm. So, and I was right-handed, so I could still write and I could still do academic work when I got done with winter break. But I can't believe it was 2 days before Christmas. I'm glad that the x-rays really go in detail. You can see, I'm looking at it right now. I'm so glad that the x-rays go in detail about the date, what hospital, what arm, because the time, 18:02 military time. So it was late at night. I knew I broke my wrist at night or in the afternoon. And yeah, now I have a close-up and the bone picture of my broken, yeah. And these are my copies, so they're in my baby book. And I had to throw my other cast away because it got stinky. It was like kind of like molding a little bit because it was not going to last that long. So this was the only cast that I kept that was like top and bottom. And I'm so glad I have this. I'm going to keep this forever. And then this is the other cast I have. And I only have a top of it. The bottom one was gross and nasty and stinky. So I got this one that I kept too. And the other one I had to throw away. So I have 3 casts. This is like probably number 1. This is probably number 2 that's missing the bottom piece because it got disgusting and the doctor threw it away. And then number 3 I threw it away. But yeah, at least I kept some of it. And you can tell that this got broken off too because it was like kind of like fragile. So this is what it looked like. It went through my thumb. So I actually had to wear the cast like this. You can probably see. And I couldn't even move my arm. I was like restricted. I was one-handed for like 6 months out of my life because I broke my left wrist. So yeah, and again, it was still like this. And then my last cast was like right here, so I didn't have this. So I was able to move my arm or my wrist. So that was not fun, but I'm glad I kept it to show you guys and to keep for my memories. So yeah, that's my cast, and how many people signed it, I don't know. It goes all over. I did carry a black Sharpie with me for like the first few weeks of my cast, and then it got full, and oh, so cute. Lots of love went into this cast too. And I just keep it in the basement in my box, and it doesn't really smell that good. It just smells like basement and medical materials. But of course, I had 3 layers of my cast. I had the green coloring that I had to pick from the colors, and I had you can see like it's like another material, and then the inside was like another material too. So I definitely was very lucky that I kept it. And here's the inside of it, kind of, you can see it. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I can't believe that my arm was so tiny. So thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.